right, we're here with Robert Trujillo. The Power Slap Camp 4th edition in December just finished up. What do you think of this new crop of 43 athletes that they put in front of you today to coach with Brandon Bordeaux?
Yeah, it was a super short notice combine. They told me it was gonna be smaller, but I think this was our biggest group yet. And we had a few repeat people that were here at the first combine, so I'm assuming that might be their like shot in, saying like, hey, we're gonna train you up a little bit more. But lots of good talent, like I definitely like this route that they've been taking, bringing in, different people. And I talked to the recruiter myself to see if I could like bring in different crowds of people. They've been doing the wrestling crowd a lot, which I think is great. They all have a ton of personality, but I think if we bring in some more like MMA fighters as well, it'll look good for the sport. So, I definitely would like to bring in a few people myself, so.
I mean, definitely wrestler heavy. We've seen some rugby players come in. We had 8 women at the combine. And I mean, from my account, 5 or 6 155ers. I mean, the biggest injection since the show of 155ers into the category. What'd you think of those guys that came into the division, or coming into potentially your division, and what you've seen from them on the onset?
I noticed that it was 155 heavy this time around. It's usually heavyweights, super heavies that you see here. But we had a lot of 155ers. They all look pretty good. They all actually impressed me. I feel like we need to get this division moving. We keep saying this, but for some reason it doesn't get going. And so I think, they could bring in these guys. Our rankings definitely need some shaking up, because they got some dudes ranked up there that I don't even feel should be ranked, So definitely get this division moving, and I'm glad there's a lot of 155ers here.
I mean, last time we talked to you in Vancouver, Canada, we had you square off with Anthony Blackburn. We were hoping for a super match between 2 champions. Obviously, Anthony Blackburn no longer the champ. Could you see him come down to 155 and compete for that belt?
I think a lot of these guys at 170 who do have to cut to 170 would like to come down, but I think once they realize how bad, especially they never cut weight for a fight, like real weight for a fight, then they start to see how bad it is, I know Vince was supposed to come down, but I heard he couldn't make the weight, I thought that would have been an awesome match for me. But I think it'd be awesome to see some of these guys come down, but that's really up if they can make the weight or not, because it's tough. A lot of people don't know how bad weight cutting is, and it's tough.
Yeah, well, if you're a fan of Slap News and you watch Smack Talk, you would know Michael, who goes by Ding. He thinks Vince Tracy's the next guy in line for you. He thinks it's going to happen. What do you think of that?
I'd be happy, I coached Vince Tracy season 3. I think he's a solid competitor, and I think he'd give me a pretty good match, Like you said, those Canadians up there are tough. How it is. You come from Canada. Dakota was a super tough opponent. I think Vince will be a tough opponent for me. But ultimately, I feel like I am the most dominant champion in Power Slap. Damien is as well. I think it really comes down to me and him, but I don't really see myself losing this belt for a long time.
I mean, you've had the belt for a while now. Damien DeBell. But you two side by side, pound for pound, who's the better champion?
Pound for pound, that's tough, man, because I feel like Damien, he has more knowledge of the sport because he's been doing it longer, but I feel like pound for pound, I have a lot more raw power, and I feel like I have a better chin than him, but, it comes down to us two, we're the 2 best in the business, and, I guess it just really comes down to see who loses their bout first.
Awesome. One last one for me. Did you out-coach Brandon Bordeaux today?
Did I do what?
Did you out-coach Brandon Bordeaux?
I think me and him work well together. They call us two of the best coaches. I think he's more like better at trying to explain his point. I feel like I'm better at going and doing one-on-ones with people, and I feel like he's good as a coach. And I feel like I'm better at making connections and helping people out. So, we work well together. He does his thing, I do my thing, and it's always a good time.
Awesome. Appreciate it, my man.
Sure, thank you.
Pleasure as always.